There are probably a number of reasons as to why the Dallas Mavericks moved on from Kristaps Porzingis during the trade deadline. While you can cite the 72 games that he missed during his 2.5 seasons with the team, or maybe the fact that he and Luka Doncic were just really unable to create the two-man synergy and chemistry that they were expected to develop. But whatever the case may be, I think it was because it just became more apparent that the best path for Dallas moving forward was one without Porzingis. Cause looking at it, Dallas went 13-8 in the 21 games that Porzingis missed prior to the trade deadline this season, while also outscoring opponents by 4.6 points per 100 possessions in those games. Further, the Mavs have also ranked as the second best defensive team in the NBA between New Year's Day and the trade deadline, which is a period wherein Porzingis also missed a total of 12 games. So basically, all signs just pointed to the team being better off without their star big man on the floor. But more importantly, since the trade happened, it also became even more apparent that surrounding Doncic with some lower usage yet more complementary type of players seemed to just be what the Mavs needed. And again, the numbers tell the whole story. Since trading Porzingis, the Mavs are 11-3, while Luka Doncic has also been playing at a whole nother level. Within the span of the 14 games since the trade deadline, Doncic has been averaging 34.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 6.8 assists, while also displaying some hyper-efficient numbers by shooting 53.7% from 2-point range, 39.5% from behind the arc, 75.2% from the free throw line, with a ridiculous 60.5 true shooting percentage, which is easily the best true shooting mark of Luka's career. Well, those are more than just MVP caliber numbers, cause in the history of the NBA, only 3 players in Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, and James Harden have been able to average at least 30 points and 6 assists while having at least a 60% true shooting mark over the course of a full season. This shows the insane level of scoring, playmaking, and efficiency that Luka Doncic has been displaying as of late. So what's good everyone, it's Real Balls here, and in this video, we'll look into how this fully unleashed version of Luka Doncic has got the Dallas Mavericks looking like contenders again. But before we continue, if you guys happen to enjoy these types of content, please make sure to hit that like button or click the subscribe button to show your support for the channel. It only takes a second of your time, but it would be much appreciated. So let's get to it. At this point, gone are the days when the Mavs have to struggle because of trying to feature Porzingis in a more ball-heavy role, and so are the times when they have to play 2 big men together on the floor. As in the 14 games since the trade deadline, Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell have shared the floor for a total of only 36 minutes together. While newly acquired 6'10" Davis Bertans has played some significant minutes alongside either big man, but in terms of role, Bertans has been playing more like a shooting guard than a big man. So overall, for Dallas, having fewer big men, more wings, and more shooters together on the floor have just really produced better spacing and a better environment for the Mavs drive-in kick and pick-and-roll game to thrive. And the early results have been really good, as before the trade deadline, the Mavs had a 110.3 offensive rating, but since then, it has increased by nearly 4 points at 113.9. Basically, I think Coach Jason Kidd has just started to subscribe to the formula used by teams that had heliocentric stars like LeBron or James Harden, which simply required putting the ball in your best player's hands a huge chunk of the time, which of course for Dallas meant putting the ball in Luka's hands, surrounding him with at least 3 shooters together with a rim running big man, and from there, just let your best player make the most out of your possessions, and Luka has just been doing exactly that. Just like here, Luka's running his usual pick-and-roll game, and as you can see, 3 Mav shooters are scattered all around the perimeter, forcing the defense to be honest. Luka's scoring threat also forces the drop defense to stay right by him, which leaves the paint quite open for him to dish out the nice pass to Dwight Powell for the dunk. Here you can see Luka on the low block. Again, the defense can't immediately help because of shooters scattered all around, but once Luka spins, the double team comes and he takes advantage of it by finding the open man. The defense can't close out on time, leading to a Dorian Finney-Smith 3-pointer. But another good thing is, Coach Jason Kidd has also looked to get Luka to attack more off the ball, having him cut out of the corners and out of dribble handoffs in order to give him a head start on his way to attacking the rim. And Luka has actually looked unstoppable by doing that, as since the Porzingis trade, Luka's 29.3 drives per game ranks first in the entire NBA, and the 14.8 points per game that he produces out of those drives is also tied for first place in the entire league alongside Ja Morant. Just like here, you can see Reggie Bullock in the post. He gives the ball to Finney-Smith, and from here, Finney-Smith finds the blitzing Luka Doncic, who uses a full head of steam to get all the way to the rim and score above the defense. Then here, you see Dinwiddie starting the offense for Dallas. He uses the ball screen, and you see Maxi Kleber popping out. Then you see Luka using Dinwiddie's back screen to receive the handoff from Kleber, and from there, he uses the momentum to drive all the way to the paint. This confuses the defense altogether, enabling Luka to easily drain his right-hand floater. Here's the thing though, by having an even greater usage rate than before, Luka's already high time of possession has increased by nearly a minute per game since the trade deadline, from 9.4 to 10 minutes per game. Overall, since the Porzingis trade, Luka has had an eye-popping 41% usage rate, which is nearly the same as the all-time highest usage rate of 41.7% that was recorded by Russell Westbrook during his MVP season in 2017. Well, obviously, running a massive chunk of the team's offense through Doncic has been working for Dallas over the past month, but sure, you can say that there's still the same question, which is this actually a sustainable formula for playoff success? Cause to be fair, out of all 25 players who have recorded the highest usage seasons in NBA history, only 2 have reached the conference finals in the same year they put up their all-time high usage rates. These were Allen Iverson in 2001 and James Harden in 2018. And even while having super high usage rates, Iverson still had an elite defensive team in Philly, while Harden also had Chris Paul alongside him. Well, those could come to mind when looking at the Mavs situation, but I think what's actually good is Luka doesn't seem to be in a bad position at all even after the Porzingis trade. And that's because, first, the Mavs defense has been really good this season as they've limited opponents to just 108.9 points per 100 possessions, which is the 6th best mark this season. And second, on offense, the combination of Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie have given the Mavs the secondary boost they actually need. Since the trade deadline, Brunson and Dinwiddie have combined for almost 32 points and more than 8 assists per game, while both guys are also shooting way above 40% each from deep. Well, sure, on paper, swapping Porzingis for another ball-needy guard might look like a move that would make the Mavs offense less balanced, but so far, having 2 other ball handlers and perimeter shot makers other than Luka has just really worked for the team. Cause the Mavs have actually outscored opponents by 24 points per 100 possessions in the 109 minutes that Dinwiddie and Brunson shared the floor without Doncic, which proves that although much of the offensive load still falls into Luka, having a couple of other offensive creators have been a huge factor in keeping the team afloat all throughout the duration of games. But here's the better part, when Doncic, Brunson, and Dinwiddie are all together on the floor, the Mavs so far have outscored opponents by a whopping 122.4 points per 100 possessions, which would easily be the best offensive rating in the league, which is also 6 points higher than that of the Utah Jazz NBA leading offense. Well, after all, it's not surprising that with 3 highly capable offensive guards on the floor, the Mavs have been able to generate a lot of good looks from behind the arc. Dorian Finney-Smith in particular has also highly benefited from the strong drive and kick shot creation of those guys, as Finney-Smith has shot 75% from the 3-point line when Doncic, Brunson, and Dinwiddie are all together with him on the court. And for real, having those kinds of guys that could step up is something that Mavs fans should really love, because in the playoffs, you would expect defenses to prevent Luka Doncic from creating something with the ball in his hands, and to be honest, the pressure has already started, as since the trade deadline, teams have trapped Doncic out of ball screens 7.7% of the time, up from 4.7% before that. Well, without a doubt, Luka can force his way out of double or triple teams, but still, you definitely expect him to make the right pass, and from there, it would just be up to his teammates to make defenses pay, which is something they've totally been able to do as of late. Just like here, Luka runs another pick and roll play, and you see the quick blitz by the double team, but then Luka's able to find Dwight Powell on the short roll right in the middle of the floor, and from here, the defense totally collapses, so Powell just passes the ball to the weak side shooter as Finney-Smith hits the wide open 3. Here, you see Luka waiting for a high screen to arrive, but the help defense quickly comes, so he takes advantage of this by passing the ball to Josh Green, and with the defense scrambling all over, Green finds the open man on the weak side as Spencer Dinwiddie hits the wide open 3. Then lastly here, Luka uses the high pick, but you see out of the switch, Claxton does a good job of staying in front of him, but as soon as the double team comes, Luka passes the ball at the right time and Spencer Dinwiddie simply drains the game-winning 3-pointer. Well, one thing's for sure, and that is Dallas would still rely on Luka Doncic when it matters the most, but right now, what's important is he's getting the rest he needs for him to execute better in late-game situations, while the team's new attack is also more versatile and more diverse when compared to the past couple of seasons. Obviously, Honestly, we have to wait for the playoffs to find out if this newfound chemistry can help Dallas advance past the first round for the first time since 2011, but I think Jason Kidd and the rest of the team are surely hoping that getting more reps throughout the course of the season would pay off and would push the team to achieve way more than just the second round appearance. So what do you guys think is a realistic ceiling for the Dallas Mavericks this season, and do you think they're real contenders? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as well. Again, this is Real Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.